It was November of 1988, and for the third time I voted in a presidential race, and for the third time the Democrat got trounced. I was now old enough to run for Congress myself, so I decided I was going to be the savior of the Democratic Party. So I walked into Democratic Party headquarters in New York City, where I lived at the time, went up to the front desk, and asked how I could get started in politics. Now, let's pause a moment to examine the logical fallacy. I was going in there to tell them how to do better, and the first thing I did was ask them for advice. The woman at the desk said that I just missed a campaign cycle, but there's always another one coming around. There was, in fact, a major New York City campaign cycle just the next year. She suggested that I pick a candidate and volunteer. I said, wait a minute, hold on a sec, time out. You mean to tell me that before I can go around telling people how great I am, I have to go around telling them how great someone else is? She had never heard a question phrased quite that way, so she had to process this before she could respond. It took her maybe half a second before she said, yeah, that's pretty much it. It took me almost 15 years to begin to realize that she was right. Since 2003, I've volunteered on a whole lot of campaigns and been fortunate enough to get paid to work on several of them. I've also lobbied at the local, state, and federal levels. I've seen a lot of what doesn't work and sometimes what does. I've been a happy foot soldier in a bunch of issue campaigns, including very successful efforts to keep electronic computerized voting machines out of New York State and also to ban fracking there. I've also lobbied members of Congress on voting rights. I've even written campaign finance reform legislation that was introduced in the New York City Council. It went nowhere, mostly because I still had a lot to learn back then. But my efforts were probably the impetus for some not insignificant changes in the law. Sure, anyone can complain, especially with social media so rampant, but my question for you is this. Do you want to complain from the sidelines, or do you want to get in the game?